Hello, friends. It's Suzanne Culberg. Welcome to episode 163 of the Note Coach podcast. You can't get good at what you don't do. I was very tempted just to hit stop, have that be like 15-second podcast, like mic drop. But I really want you to allow that to land. You can't get good at what you don't do. So many of my clients and people that I work with and myself at certain stages in life, we have a goal, we have a dream, we have something that we want to achieve. And we spend a large amount of time planning, dreaming. What's that song? Wishing and hoping and praying. And, like we spend a lot of time building this thing up in our heads. And then we begin to action it and it's not successful instantly. And then we're like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. I'm not destined for this. I suck. And we quit spectacularly and throw in the towel. And the thing is, we can't get good at what we don't do. Expecting instant success is kind of presumptuous when you really think about it. And then we can get all affronted. It's like, but I've spent years planning this. I've spent years practicing for this. And it's like, no, you spent years thinking about it. Like, honestly, have you been really working towards this, or have you been engaging in mental masturbation? Like, seriously, gotta say it like it is. And I for a personal example, when I very first started my business, which I didn't really even know was a business at the time, it was kind of, I fell into it. I call myself the accidental entrepreneur. I remember, pressing publish on my Facebook page. And to me, this was a huge step. I was literally breathing into a paper bag, like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be sharing my innermost thoughts with the world. This is scary. And I hit publish. And I think two of my sisters and a couple of my friends liked it. And I was like, I built this up into my head. It's like, oh my gosh, the world is going to know me. And it's like, I have like 5 likes on my page. The very first newsletter I wrote, like now I send it most weekly, sometimes more than once a week. I really encourage you to sign up if you haven't already. SuzanneCulberg.com/newsletter, or just go to SuzanneCulberg.com, click on newsletter. I love my list. It's stuff that's even more deep than what I share here on the podcast. But to send that, for the first week, I had 4 people on my list after posting about how I was starting a newsletter for what felt like forever. One was my mum, 2 were 2 of my sisters, and, just the commitment to consistently write that and send that, no matter the number, no matter who's watching, no matter who's following. Then about a year into it, I was fortunate enough to be published by Huffington Post. And then I was like, oh my gosh, once again, breathe into a paper bag, freak out, like, all these people. And people joined, yes, but it wasn't like this instant thing, like fame or everyone's going to know your name. And I think, sometimes we create something, we put it out there, we get crickets, we make it mean something, which isn't even true, or we make it mean about what other people must think about us. People spend very little time thinking about you because everybody's too busy thinking about themselves. And so it's the consistency to do the thing, do it again, keep doing it, stay in the room, keep showing up. Your best gets to get better, but not if you don't do it consistently. My son has really struggled with learning to ride a bike. The balance, the pedal, the action, it's not a happening thing. And he's really frustrated. And I'm like, honey, we've got to be fair here. Are we out there trying it every day? No. Are we trying it most days? No. Do you expect to suddenly magically be able to know how to do this? And I was like, well, yeah, he kind of does. And it's the pedaling, falling, picking yourself up, pedaling, falling, scraping, crying, getting back up again. That's how you learn to do anything, by doing it and working through the frustration, the disappointment, the sometimes embarrassment and humiliation of mucking it up over and over and over again. One of the tools I teach, I say you teach what you most need to learn so you can learn it, is journaling. Like, journaling is the most simplest thing ever. Pen, paper, write. There isn't a lot of, it's not hard. But you know the best way to avoid journaling? It's to talk about journaling. It's to read books about journaling. It's to go to courses about journaling. It's, you know, the way you get good at journaling is sitting down and putting the pen to paper, even when your brain's telling you this is stupid, this is dumb, this is a waste of time, what's this going to do? It's by taking the action. You get good at journaling by journaling, like you get good at riding a bike by riding a bike. In the beginning, you can't really do it. You fall off. You don't have the balance. You're not strong enough. You can't do it for very long. But you get longer and better by doing it. So what in your life are you avoiding? Are you telling yourself, I've spent years working towards this thing, when you've spent years thinking about it and perhaps more likely overthinking about it and over planning it, instead of getting into the arena, getting your knees dirty, dusting yourself off and, you know, having a go? Because, yeah, there's going to be things that aren't your best. Yeah, there's going to be disappointment, but you get better by doing. And if you don't have some form of secondhand embarrassment looking at your early attempts, are you really even giving it a good hot crack? So thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Yeah, head on over to my newsletter, sign on up. I'd love to drop into your inbox once a week or so and let me know, what is it that you're working towards? What is it that you desire that you're putting off because, I'm not good at it? And yeah, you might not be good at it yet, but you don't get good at what you don't do. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.